Okay, so today you read about the ocean, and one of the things that is really important about the ocean is that it is full of salt water. It's not regular water like we have in a river or a stream. It's different. And so we are going to do a little science experiment with salt water today. And a couple of weeks ago, we did our sink and float with regular water, and we saw which things were less dense than the water that floated up top. And so today we're going to add in an extra little element with the salt water. And so we're going to use just one thing today to do this experiment, and that is an egg. So I have one glass here that's full of just regular water. And then I have another glass here that I filled with water, and then I added in a lot of salt to make it super salty like the ocean, and I stirred it together. Is there anything that you notice about the two cups that's different right off the bat that you can see? Can you see the salt that's in the water? You can't see the grains of salt, but it changed what the water looks like, right? So we are going to take an egg. Now, before I do this, do you have any predictions of what might happen with our eggs? Before I drop my egg in my first glass, which is the regular water, do you think it is going to sink, or do you think it's going to float? Let's find out what happens. I'm going to carefully drop it so that if it sinks, it doesn't break. So it sank down to the bottom of the glass. Is that what you thought was going to happen? Now, before I do anything else, do you think that the salt changes the density of the water and might affect whether or not the egg sinks or floats? Let's find out. Make your predictions now. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think this is just going to go right down to the bottom like the other one and it doesn't do anything different? Carefully put it in there. Do you see what happened? The egg is floating. So just adding salt to the water completely changed the density of the water. And so now the egg is less dense than the water is. And so it is sitting on the top. It is floating. Have you ever noticed when you're swimming in the ocean that you float better than if you're in the pool? Next time, this summer maybe, it's a good time to try it out. Next time you're in the ocean, see if you can float better than if you're at the pool. I'm not too good at floating, but in the ocean, it definitely buoys me up a little bit more. Now, do you think there's anything else that might do this that is from our experiment last week where we did our sink and float? Is there anything that sank the other time that you think might float this time? If you want to try it at home, just take a cup, fill it with 3 tablespoons of water, stir it up, give it plenty of salt to make it nice and salty, and then test it out. Find things around your house that you can do sink and float with. Now, an interesting thing about the salt in the ocean, where does it come from? The salt from the ocean actually comes from rocks on land that break down from erosion. The water wears it away, and it goes into the water of the streams, and then those streams and rivers carry it to the ocean. So that's how the ocean gets salty. Give it a try at home.